Good day, sir. My name is Torregosa, G2B. Rule 18. Responsibility between vessels except where 9, Rule 10, and Rule 13 otherwise require a power-driven vessels underway shall keep out of the way of the vessels not under command. A vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver. A vessel engaged in fishing. A sailing vessel. A sailing vessel otherwise shall keep out of the way of a vessels not under command. A vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver. A vessel engaged in fishing. A vessel engaged in fishing when otherwise shall so far as possible keep out of the way of a vessels not under command. A vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver. Any vessels other than a vessels that under command or a vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver shall, if the circumstances of the case admit, avoid impeding the ship passage of a vessels constrained by her draft, exhibiting the signals in Rule 28. A vessels constrained by her draft shall navigate when the particular cushions having full regard to her special conditions. A seaplane on the water shall, in general, keep well clear of all vessels and avoiding impeding their navigations. In circumstances, however, where risk of collision exists, she shall comply with the rules of this part. A weak craft shall, when taking off, landing and in flight near the surface, keep well clear of all other vessels and avoid impeding their navigation. A weak craft operating on the water surface shall comply with the rules of this part as a power-driven vessels. Rule 19. Conduct of a vessel in restricted ability. These rules apply to vessels not in sight of another when navigation in the near of area restricted visibility. Every vessel shall proceed at a safe speed adapted to the prevailing circumstances and conditions of restricted visibility. A power-driven vessels shall have her engines ready for immediate maneuver. Every vessel shall have due regard to the prevailing circumstances and conditions of restricted visibility when complying with the rules of Section 1 of this part. A vessel which detects by radar alone the presence of another vessels shall determine if a close quarter situation is developing and or risk of collisions exist. If so, she shall take avoiding action in ample time, providing that when such action consists of an alteration of course, so far as possible, the following shall be avoided. An alternation of course to port vessels forward of the beam other than of a vessels being overtaken. Alternation of course toward a vessels a beam above the beam, except where it has been determined that a risk of collisions doesn't exist. Every vessel which hears apparently forward of her beam, the fog signals of another vessels or which cannot avoid a close quarters situation with another vessel forward of her beam shall reduce her speed to the minimum at which she can be kept on her course. She shall, if necessary, take all her way off and in any event navigate with the extreme caution until danger of collision is over. Rule 20. Application. Rule in this part shall be complied with in all weathers. The rules concerning light shall be complied with from sunset to sunrise, and during such times no other signal shall be exhibited, except such lights as cannot be mistaken for the lights specified in these rules or do not impair their visibility or distinctive character or interfere with the keep of proper lookout. The lights prescribed by this rule shall, if carried, also be exhibited from sunrise to sunset, and restricted visibility and may be exhibited in all other circumstances, which is deemed necessary. The rules concerning ships shall be complied with by day. The lights and ships specified in this rule shall comply with the provisions of Annex I to these regulations. Rule 21. Definitions. Masthead light means as white light appears over the fore and aft center line of a vessel, showing an unbroken light over an arc of the horizon of the 225 degrees and so fixed as to show the light from right ahead to 22.5 degrees above the beam of either side of the vessel's side lights means a green light on the starboard sides and a red light on the port side, each showing an unbroken light over an arc of the horizons of 112.5 degrees and so fixed as to show the light from the right ahead to 22.5 degrees above the beam on its respective side in a vessel of less than 20 meters in length. The side lights may be combined in one lantern carried on the fore and aft center line of the vessels. Center lights means a white light placed as nearly as practicable that stern, showing an unbroken light over an arc or of the horizon of 135 degrees and so fixed as to show the light 67.5 degrees from right of the each side of the vessel's twin light means a yellow light having the same characteristics as the stern light defined in paragraph C of this rule. All-round light means a light showing an unbroken light over an arc of the horizon of 360 degrees. Flashing light means a light flashing at regular intervals of frequency of 120 flashes or more per minute. Rule 22. Visibility of lights. The lights prescribed in this rule shall have an intensity as specified in Section 8 of Annex I to this regulation so as to be visible at the following minimum range and vessels of 50 meters or more in length. A masthead light 6 miles, a side light 3 miles, a stern light 3 miles, a towing light 3 miles, a white, red, green, or yellow all around light 3 miles. In vessels of 12 meters or more in length but less than 50 meters in length. A masthead light 5 miles except that where the length of the vessel is less than 20 meters, 3 miles, a side line 2 miles, a starlight 2 miles, a towing light 2 miles, a white, red, green, or yellow all around light 2 miles. In vessels of less than 12 meters in length, a masthead and light 2 miles, a side light 1 mile, a starlight 2 miles, a towing light 2 miles, a white, red, green, or yellow all around light 2 miles. And in conspicuous party, submerged vessel or object being towed, a while or around light 3 miles.
I just had to let you know you're